Hello everyone, welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and in today's Cryptid Corner mini episode, I have encounters with two different kinds of humanoid beings. Both accounts sound incredibly intriguing, so let's get into the first account here. Withlacoochee State Forest humanoid encounter. Florida truck driver spots mysterious suited figure with light-emitting device. Let's get into the story now and hear exactly what this truck driver witnessed. While hauling freight along Florida's SR 471, a truck driver witnessed a suited figure operating a strange scanning device that sent bursts of light rippling through the night mist. But was this containment-clad entity a secretive human operator or something otherworldly, testing technology far beyond our understanding? That's indeed a very interesting opening, huh, folks? Let's get into the full account now. Date, April 2nd, 2015. Location, Withlacoochee State Forest along SR 471. The incident occurred at the intersection of SR 471 and a narrow dirt logging road, approximately 5.9 miles south of the intersection of State Route 50 and SR 471, Terrytown, Florida. Meteorological and terrain conditions. The moon was illuminating well, casting visible shadows on standing objects. Low ground mist was observed in the area, but not at the incident site. An entity in a protective suit, including a helmet, was seen operating a piece of equipment or a scanner. Narrative. The observer was a commercial driver operating an 18-wheeler traveling north on SR 471 at approximately 60 miles per hour. Dim flashes of light on the east side of the roadway caught the driver's attention. The driver observed an individual at the entrance of the logging trail about 3 meters from the edge of the roadway, and in the center of the trail, this individual was wearing a containment suit that was off-white in color and stood between 1.5 and 1.8 meters tall. The person operating a device held at midsection level that emitted rapid bursts of light in a clockwise circular direction, expanding outward at a 30-degree angle. An unknown substance or organic material in the air reacted to these light pulses, creating brilliant, small starbursts of white light. The light bursts illuminated the individual's presence and highlighted details of the suit. Now, here are the suit details. The individual's footwear was made of a different material and was darker brown in color compared to the suit. The individual also wore a harness system that extended over the shoulders and connected at the midsection, which supported a pentagon-shaped box on the chest. The box was white with geometric symbols in gold or a darker brown on the front. Additionally, the individual wore a large oval-shaped helmet that reflected the light from the device and the vehicle's headlights. Duration of encounter, 8 seconds. Closest distance to entity, 5 meters. The driver continued observing until reaching Terrytown. At the time of the incident, GPS, CB radio, and radio communication were turned off, and the vehicle's instrumentation was functionally normal. There was no indication of electromagnetic radiation, EMR. That was the end of the report. A very bizarre story, folks. What was it that this driver encountered? It's too bad that we don't have the name of the driver. But, well, it sounds like we could probably locate, the area where this entity was observed. Now, what was this being, folks? Could it have been maybe some sort of, test of high-tech equipment? But who was this entity, folks? If he was testing some sort of equipment, why? Was he working for the government? Was he some sort of alien entity? From the description, folks, it sounds like this guy was in some sort of spacesuit of all things. So, was he working for NASA? If so, why was he testing this equipment out, down in Florida of all things, folks? Basically, literally outside of any laboratory. I don't know. It's very strange. All I can do is just theorize about that, and we can do that after we read the next article. So let's get into that, and then we can theorize about both stories. Yellow-eyed humanoid, Texas ranch family's ongoing mystery. Let's hear about how this family encountered this glowing-eyed humanoid. And once again, folks, we have to ask, why are these beings being seen? But we'll save off on that till we read this family's story. In 2003, twin brothers living on a rural ranch near Austin, Texas, encountered a 2-foot-tall humanoid with glowing yellow eyes, only to witness the strange activity return decades later, but with wildlife vanishing, oak trees mysteriously dying, and unexplained lights over their property. Are these signs evidence of a deeper ongoing presence that refuses to leave? let's read on and find out, folks. Hello, in 2003, my brother and I had an encounter with a small human-like being that had bright yellow eyes. We reported the incident to MUFON, but we never received a response. We live on an old ranch outside of Austin, Texas. At the time, my brother and I were 16 years old, and we are twins. We were working in the barn at dusk when my brother noticed a pair of yellow eyes peeking out from a gully near the creek. We both watched for a minute or two until the being appeared again. I grabbed a shotgun that was on the work table and we made our way toward it. Very brave of these two men, folks. But remember, they were just 16-year-olds, so I guess very brave of these two young men. But either way, still a very bizarre account so far. Let's read on. We stood still about 50 feet away from the gully when suddenly this small human-like creature dashed out toward the creek. I took a shot at it using, 00 buckshot, but it continued running. The craziest part was that it seemed to walk across the surface of the creek. It made its way to the other side and then disappeared into a field. The creature was about 2 feet tall with dark hairless skin, and its eyes were incredibly bright, almost like yellow-colored pin lights. We told our parents and friends about the encounter, but they all thought we were nuts. Fast forward to a recent event. Our parents have since passed away, and my brother and I now own most of the original ranch property. We are both married with families and have built houses on the old property. Good for them, folks, but apparently this is only the beginning of their story, folks, because it said other phenomena has since begun to occur since they've lived on the land, and they think it might be related to this humanoid that they basically encountered back in 2003. So let's get back into their story now. This past spring, my brother and I were clearing some bushes and trees behind my house. It was around 8:30 p.m., and we were starting to douse burning brush pile when something caught my eye in the direction of the onion field across the creek. It appeared as a brief flash of bright light. My brother didn't see it, but my wife came running out of the house and yelled that she saw something land in the field. She had been on the second floor and saw it from the bedroom window. The three of us watched in that direction for several minutes, but we didn't notice anything unusual. We finished up and went inside the house. I couldn't sleep that night. My wife mentioned that the object was egg-shaped and ascended quickly, so fast that she expected it to crash. The next day I walked through the field but didn't see anything out of the ordinary. I'm concerned that something unusual is occurring. We used to see coyotes, deer, wild birds, and other wildlife frequently, but since the last incident, none of us has spotted anything. Birds no longer fly over or land on the property. There are several large oak trees here, but a significant die-off has occurred. It's not due to oak wilt or insects. The leaves die and fall off. It's very strange. I had a guy from the local nursery look around, but he couldn't explain it. I would appreciate any insight into what might be going on, SG. Now, could it be that maybe SG's land is now, home to some sort of entity that's slowly killing this, ranch, folks? Is it? And does it have any relationship to the yellow-eyed humanoid that they saw and shot at back in 2003, folks? Or is it just a coincidence? Well, we don't know. It could be that maybe SG and his family live on an, land that is, I've talked about this before, folks, a window area where this sort of phenomena, does occur. But it would sound like basically since 2003 up until now, folks, everything has been completely normal. So maybe the incidents that are now taking place, maybe it's like it's time for it to occur, folks. Maybe this entity or other phenomena basically only becomes, prevalent every few decades or so. It could be that basically like a poltergeist encounter, this stuff is going to basically just stop out of the blue. Because, maybe that's exactly what we're talking about here, folks. It's not exactly a poltergeist activity, but maybe the, phenomena is going to just stop as if it never existed to begin with, folks. But that's just my thinking here, folks. We don't know what it really means. And what about the first story we read through about that entity in that, spacesuit, for lack of a better, term, because it really feels like this entity was in some sort of spacesuit, folks. The truth of the matter here is both accounts detail phenomena. We just don't understand until we have more information. We can just only guess at it. Anyway, we're at the end, folks, so please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics They're Bad For You. You can use the YouTube link down below in the descriptions or the chat to go subscribe to me. Hit that like button for me. Make sure you're still subscribed. Leave some comments down below. Hit that bell for notifications. Hit the part of the bell that'll give you all future notifications, and please share this video out. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdog's Kennel. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow with another great video, so be sure to come back again then. Till next time, folks, I'll see you all again soon.